Hi and welcome, legends. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I went away a little bit over the weekend just to just pause that there quickly. Went away for the weekend, and let me just put myself on here. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I went away for the weekend and then I came back and I saw a nice little dump here to the downside. I was like, nice, right. Potentially some buying opportunities. Can we go down further? Obviously, we can still go down further. Today, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. Let's go through some bullish scenarios. Let's go through some bearish scenarios. Let's look at some of our favorite altcoins. I have been nibbling, adding a little bit to my spot bags. And let's look at the DEXI. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at liquidity, CVD, jam-packed show. Let me know in the comments which altcoins you guys would like to see. And let's jump here into the charts. Right. Hope everyone can see my screen. It's all good. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Right. The first thing I want to do is just put myself back here. I just want to take the comments, pop out the comments and put it on my other screen so I can see what you guys are telling me. Right, let me do this. Okay, welcome. Cloud, enjoy your stream, Devil. Thank you so much. I will. Solana, you want to have a look at Solana? Definitely. Wild Deuces 234 Solana. We can definitely have a look at Solana. What I want to do is just jump back onto the charts over here, make sure that I share my screen and I don't talk to myself and just show you guys my lovely face over here. Right, so based on my update this morning, let's go and see what happened since I updated you guys this morning. Okay, so quite a messy chart over here, and some people will say it's still relatively clean, but I am just got some levels that I'm watching here, and I'm interested in where we bounced right now. Okay, can you guys see where we bounced with this little drop here to the downside? Do you see what I have over here? A naked point of control. What I will be honest with you guys, what is really confusing about this structure is that the price action and the point of controls is different depending on which exchange you use to do your analysis on. Right, I see some exchanges didn't take this low over here. Okay, didn't take the low. Right, on Binance, the one that I use to do my analysis, and the reason I use Binance is because it has the largest volume in the world. I like to analyze charts that has a lot of volume. Okay, that's just my preference. And then some charts did not take the low over here. Some charts did. And some charts do not have this naked point of control over here. But at the end of the day, you have to analyze what you see in front of you and trade that chart. Okay, which makes the structure a little bit confusing. But let's dive into this little structure over here and just see where we are. But before I do that, I just want to go back, as always, jump onto the higher time frames. Let's just take stock of where we are. Okay, you can switch this off. And then obviously I will spend some time going through the comments. Share with me if you would like me to go through an altcoin. I did see a lot of blood in the street with some of the altcoins. So is this the buying opportunity that we've all been waiting for? Or is there massive fear in the street? Everyone's still expecting lower. Okay. So as per my update this morning, still inside of this range. Okay. And you can see also where we are bouncing at the moment. When I look at this range, if you're a range trader, we had some wicks here to the outside. We had a deviation here above, struggling to break through. Now we're at the bottom again. Also nice little deviation here. And we got bought up quite quickly over here. And now look at where we are struggling. We are bouncing on the value area high over here. Okay. If we get acceptance outside of the value area, okay, it could mean that we're going to go down to lower prices. Right. But the fact that it for now looks like a deviation, it really looks like a deviation for now, because this is the price action that we're currently observing over here. And we are bouncing here on the value area low. Okay. Right, so for now, for range traders is you short the top, you long the bottom, you short the top, you long the bottom. So if you're a range trader, you must probably already inside of a long, expecting to take profits here by the high, the top of the range again. Okay. Now I want to go back onto, let's go onto the 1 hour time frame. Okay, just wait for it to load up. Right. And before I do my analysis with this little structure over here, I like that naked point of control. Let's say hi to the community, say hi to the comments. Nags, hi Devil, what are your thoughts on the alts bleeding? I'm currently in 2x leverage on loads of the alts that are bleeding, but I feel I want to move the funds to more sensible coins. Right, yeah, I think 2x leverage is definitely the right type of leverage to use if you're opening up bigger swing trades to the upside. Definitely, your liquidation price is so low. So the strategy could be, you have to obviously have a clear invalidation, right? And if you're using 2x leverage, it means that you're obviously adding to your position as they are falling to the downside, or you've already bought into the position and you are just waiting for price to bounce and go to the upside. So from a fundamental perspective, I do encourage people to do their own research, but what I can do is I can share with you what I have in my portfolio, and I've done my personal research, but it's not indicative of me saying that the fundamentals are good and nothing bad's going to happen to those altcoins. But I will share my list nonetheless, right? And Radu, what do you think of Link? We can go through Link as well. Let me just open up, I'm going to go through a long list of altcoins, and if I don't tackle your altcoin, just send me another message. I'm going to go through Atom, I'm going to go through Link, I'm going to go through Ethereum, I'm going to tackle a couple of altcoins here to the downside, and let's go and see which ones are showing potential here to the upside, but potentially a buying opportunity. And obviously, I think Bitcoin, the king, we want to see what Bitcoin is going to do over here. Are we building impulses here to the downside, or have we found the local bottom right here? And we are just going to continue inside of this massive range that we formed for the last couple of weeks. Okay, cool. Let's finish up the comments here. Yellow Jacket, hi Devil, gonna be sitting out of the market for now and wait till lower levels are reached. Okay, if 21 MA gets reclaimed on smaller time, BTC maybe re-enter on the retest. I think rejection for now. Right, and I will be honest with you guys, when I start smelling fear in the street, that is when I buy. When people don't want to trade, sorry, and I'm not hammering on you at all, but I want to smell the fear. I want to see people are scared. People don't want to buy. That is usually when I am there buying. Okay, so I've already nibbled a little bit. I've added more to my spot bags. And if we do get a dip, I will add a little bit more to my spot bags, because I do remember myself saying, if I can only get these altcoins at these prices again, I feel that I've missed out. I didn't grow some of my spot bags to the size that I wanted to grow them. And now the opportunity is here, and I'm not going to be too scared to buy. I'm going to buy. That is what I am doing. That is my personal strategy. And a great dip like this is just always for me a buying opportunity. Okay, right. Let's analyze this little price action over here. I think Andy just did a live stream now as well. I commented in there just to say, what's up, legends? And most probably we're going to be saying the same thing a little bit differently. So I've got a couple of scenarios that I'm watching in this price action over here. And the first thing I want to share with you guys is that, right, I'm counting the structure from an Elliott wave here to the downside. And it's not an easy one, because it could be finished or it can continue. And based on what I'm seeing on my chart, the low is in, okay? But based what is happening on other people's charts, like Bybit, for example, the low is not yet in, so it does become a little bit confusing. Okay, so what I am counting is a 1, 2, and this is now where it gets tricky. This can be a 3, 4, 5, or this can be a 1, 2, 3, and we are still busy with a fourth wave here, and we are going to come and claim the low. Right, based on what I am seeing on my chart, the Bitcoin Tether.p, perpetual Binance chart, not looking at the other charts, is the probability of us claiming this low is decreasing because of what happened over here. And let me share what I mean by that. Okay. The first thing that I'm looking at is to say that you can have, okay, top of the range over here. So I'm looking at this top, where's my brush? I'm looking at this top over here, right? And one could say that this is an A, B, C to the downside. Okay, and there's two ways that this can work. This is either just a C wave or this is a ABC to the downside. If it is an ABC, right? A, B, C. The structure could potentially already be finished. Okay. So how I would count this is to say that, let's zoom into this price action, is to say that, well, if B ended over here, right? A, B, C, then I start counting the impulses from here, not from there. Okay. So this then becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the C wave can be complete, right? Or it can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this to me doesn't make sense anymore, because if I take a fib, normal fib from 2, where 2 ended, to where 3 is at the moment, if we are still building a fourth wave over here, Elliott wave theory states that the fourth wave on an impulse to the downside is not allowed to hit the 0.618, which mine did. But on some of the exchanges that you guys are using to analyze, it did not tap the 0.618 just yet. But I can only share with you what I am seeing in the charts. Okay, cool. So what I am seeing is a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because this structure over here hit the 0.618, it decreases the probabilities of us coming to take this low again. So what I would like to see is perhaps a rejection, and we can either bounce from where we are right now, we can go up, we can go down, but I would like to see a higher low, and then we start building impulses back to the upside to come and claim these highs once again. Okay. I know it's very complex, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can, and I will go through the simplicity of the trading setups that I'm looking at right now. But for now, I just want to count these waves here to the downside and see, well, what are the probabilities of us coming to claim this high, or this low, sorry, the low over here. Okay. If, if this is a completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it respected Elliott wave theory to perfection. Wave 4 over here didn't go into the territory of 1, and it didn't hit the 0.618 from a fib taken from the low to the high over there, where this is then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is then an extended fifth wave here to the downside, which is perfectly fine. It happens all the time. Okay. Right. If this is the bigger 1, 2, and this is 3 here to the downside, then there's a couple of problems, because the fourth wave already tapped the 0.618, invalidating a fifth impulsive wave to the downside. Well, invalidation is a strong word. I would rather use the word it lowers the probabilities, because I don't want to price to hit this low and then everyone's like, but Devil said, okay, it's all a game of probabilities. And all I'm trying to say is, from an Elliott wave perspective, if this is a 1, 2, 3 and we are busy with the fourth wave, the probabilities decrease when you hit the 0.618 for a fourth wave here to the upside. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and because we hit the 0.618, I'm feeling that this is not a wave 4 anymore. Or it can still be a wave 4, but it lowers the probabilities. Ideally, I would have liked a maximum target of the 50% fib level over here. Okay. Yeah, and it's not easy because the price action looks different on different charts. Okay, but what I do like about what's happening now is to say that, well, let's play out the scenario to say that, well, based on what I am seeing is I am seeing the end of the structure over here on my chart. We've tapped the 0.618. It invalidates a wave 4. This is potentially the end of the structure, and we are going to start moving up from here. Okay, so what I do like about this price action over here okay, is that we found acceptance back inside the range. When I switch on my today analysis, okay, you guys will see here a lot of levels over here, but look at where we bounced, okay? We obviously had the dip and we got acceptance back inside the value area low. You know that big range on the 4 hour that I just drew? We got acceptance back inside, right? And then when we had the correction here to the downside, we bounced on the naked point of control. Let me show you guys where I get that naked point of control. Session volume profile, let's just switch that on. Sometimes it takes a while to load up. Let's just give it a second over here. Okay, cool. It was a little bit lower. I think it was in the 15-minute. It does jump around depending on which time frame. Okay, cool. So here on the 15-minute time frame, you guys will see that I have a naked point of control, yet a previous day naked point of control. Okay, I just called it naked point of control, but it's actually a previous day point of control, and that is where we got the bounce. Okay, so we broke out, we had the bounce over here, and this is potentially going to give us a move back up to come and claim this high, potentially. Okay, potentially. I do like the price action here at the moment, getting acceptance back inside the range, not breaking down the naked point of control or the previous day point of control. So definite support in this area. Right, what I also like is I do think we hit a fib level over here. So when I take a fib, do this from the low to the high. Okay, we tapped the 0.382, which is fine for if this is now going to make impulses here to the upside. 1, 2, 3. All right. It's an acceptable second wave target. Definitely 1, 2, and then depending on how price reacts over there, I mean, the third wave can be very impulsive. I just want to see for interest's sake that if this is a 1, 2 and we are going up from here, but I mean, you have to remember we can still come and tap the 618 and reject again and go back, you know, form a bigger wave before we get the bounce to the upside. Right, so I'm highly just speculating over there here to say that, well, if this is the bounce and we are going to start making a third wave here to the upside, I want to see where that could potentially take us. Right, so let's do this, clean up some fib levels over here. Take a fib expansion from the low to the high to the recent low. Oof, 55. Possible. Obviously, if we don't start with a third wave and we range for a little bit longer and we form a new low here by the 618, you have to drag this down. Okay. So yeah, I would like to see what's going to happen in this price action over here, but definitely for me, this was a long trigger. I know a lot of people are scared to long at the moment, but with good risk management, you can still make some nice gains here to the upside, because this is what I was looking at. I was looking at, where's my today analysis? I was looking at us getting acceptance, you know, different styles of trading, getting acceptance back inside the value area low. I saw the previous day naked point of control, nice SFP over here. We can definitely have that double bottom, then continue. And the one thing I don't want to see us is close solid candles below the naked point of control, because then you retest it for continuation to the downside. And I think this will be a ticket for me to say that, well, now it looks like we might go and claim that low over there. But for now, it still looks good. And I think CVD also looks good. I just want to go and check CVD here at the moment. It looks bullish, I must say. It looks bullish for now. Okay, so when I look at CVD over here, from this pivot to this pivot over here, let me just use a different brush. Okay, from these two pivots, ever so close, both on yellow and on blue. Slightly, ever so slightly bullish CVD on both yellow and blue over here. I'm looking at these two pivots, of which the target is the high. Okay, but it does not mean that we are just going to go and make a third wave like I've explained, you know. Obviously, when I take a trade, the most obvious place to take profits is support and resistances above, or resistance above. Potentially we come back up here, we can SFP again and make another low and potentially build up bullish CVD again, getting that CVD to drop even further. Okay. And or we can just move, break through here, flip these highs into support and continue the momentum to the upside. Right, so I don't see any bearish CVD at the moment, and I think that's kind of what I was looking for. Let's go on to the 15-minute time. Oh, the 5-minute, I just want to see local CVD. Is it giving me a clue that we are going to fall down? No, not at the moment. Very neutral. I want to see this pivot. Oof, we actually did make bullish CVD against this pivot and this low over here. We made bullish CVD because on blue it is over there and we made a lower. So we made a lower low on CVD and we made higher high on price action. But we've already taken the high. The target was the high over here. We've already taken it, but I like to see a bullish CVD building on the local time frames like the 5-minute over here to see that can we get up momentum here to the upside on the price of Bitcoin. Okay, let me go through a little bit of comments and see what you guys are saying and what you guys are thinking. Remember, I use Bybit and Mixi to trade with. Down in the description of this video, you go click on more. Some people don't know how to open up the descriptions. I just want to show that. I get some funny questions, guys. I really get some funny questions, and I don't want to be disrespectful towards anyone. All I'm highlighting is yes, when you go down in a video description, you'll see that there's a more button. So for any YouTube video that you're watching, if you want to see what's inside of the description, you need to go and click on more. And then two of my favorite exchanges, Bybit and Mixi. Mixi, you don't need any KYC. And for myself and Andy's community, only 20% fee reduction for Bybit. Go sign up, come trade with us. Right. Okay. Let's go through the comment section over here. Is it better to buy and sell between coins or buy and sell to USDT? I would say it depends. It depends on how experienced you are as a trader. I know that some influencers will say that no, when you take profits on your favorite altcoin, you must buy back into Bitcoin. But I think that I really struggled with that when I was still trading as a beginner, is to say that, well, you only know that you've made profit when you can see it in your USDT stable coin. I mean, if you started with $1,000 and now you are at $2,000 and you go and buy Bitcoin and then Bitcoin decides to crash, I think you're going to be a little bit upset with yourself, is to say that, well, I've made $1,000 profit. I went and I bought Bitcoin because everyone tells me that I need to switch between altcoins into Bitcoin and not into a stable coin. And now Bitcoin dropped by $10,000. Now I've lost some of my profits. Okay, so perhaps the answer is that if you are trading from a day trading perspective to make profits, to pay your expenses by the end of the month, money that you need to make profits with, so that you can pay for expenses from a day trading perspective, I would pay that definitely. Well, that's what I do. I pay that out into a stable coin because I need that money. I cannot afford to say that I need to make $10,000 to pay expenses. I go make the $10,000 with trading. I buy into Bitcoin and Bitcoin dumps 20% the day before I need to cash out and start paying my expenses. I can't risk that. Perhaps from a HODL portfolio perspective, that if you bought an altcoin at a perfect price and it's done phenomenal things to the upside and you feel that it's exhausted, yes, go swap it for something that has not run yet. That is a clever strategy where you are rotating your money into something that's already done phenomenal things, into things that's still showing potential. That is actually trading in itself. So you're just being clever with your trades. Okay, so I think it really depends on your style, whether you want to trade the money, whether you want to pay expenses, or if it's a bigger trading portfolio that you don't mind withdrawing cash and you just want to rotate money and go where the bees are. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. On my bigger portfolio is that if I had to, for example, like Render and Solana and Rune, that's done phenomenal things to the upside, I have had moments where I will take some of those profits and go buy into coins that have not done anything as yet, still with good fundamentals. I think that is clever, okay, because you see the potential that could potentially happen because of what happened to the strong altcoins that are now slowing down. Right. Let's go. More comments over here. Brian, hi Devold. Any altcoins you recommend for spot? Thank you. Yes, I will go through my list that I have at the moment. Okay. I do see a lot of people are struggling with, they are new to crypto, they don't know which coins to buy. Firstly, I highly recommend that everyone does their own research and don't just blindly buy into coins that any YouTuber, including myself, recommend. I can only show you the ones that I have in my spot bags where I feel comfortable with. But there's always a risk that some of them can die and some of them can do 100x and 10x and 15x. Okay, so I can share with you what I have, but please don't take it as gospel that it's the ultimate list because Devil said so. Please, 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 I encourage everyone to do your own research as well. But for beginners and people don't know where to start, I think it will give you a good starting point where you now know which coins to go and research, because I think a lot of people don't even know where to start from a research perspective. What coin do I even research? Because there are thousands of altcoins out there. Okay, so I will share my list, and then you can go and do your own research, and I will share with you what I currently have in my spot bags. Right. And Yellow Jacket. Right now I'm feeling FOMO of the bounce and want to buy in. Therefore, I'm not going to do it. I think we test the lows again, just from the pure technical level, even if it's in 2 to 3 weeks. Definitely. I mean, if you're a long-term trader, I mean, from a day trading perspective, you know, you could have... Where was that level? We built nice, I think we built nice bullish CVD between these two pivots. Okay, so from a day trading perspective, you could have said, okay, I'm in over here, nice bullish CVD. I want to see us claim the highs. We came up here, we claimed the highs, and you could have left, you know, you could have taken profits over here as soon as you claim the highs. But what I did like about this bounce is you bounced on top of the highs, flipping resistance into support, and then you had continuation here to the upside. So for me, this is a day trade. Okay. I'm in and out of the market in one day, sometimes 1 or 2 hours. I'm done for the day. I've taken my trade, made my profits, now sit in my hands and I'll wait for the next opportunity. And sometimes you get multiple opportunities per day, and sometimes you only get one opportunity per day. Right. You have to be patient as a trader. What else? Wild Deuces. I wish I was you. Yellow Jacket. Okay, cool. I must have missed a comment over here. Right, yeah, on Phoenix I did tap the... Okay, so on a couple of exchanges it also tapped the 0.618. I think what makes this price action confusing over here is that I cannot for definite say that the fourth wave has invalidated Elliott wave theory, because on some exchanges the 0.618 was not tapped. And on other exchanges, this low, where's that low? Okay, need to zoom in a little bit more. Right. On some exchanges, this low, let me just wait again, was not taken. This low over here. Okay, we still bounced above that low. We turned around over here somewhere. Okay, so a little bit confusing price action, because if you are trading on exchange where the 0.618 was not tapped, we didn't claim this low over here, there is still a real possibility for market makers to go and align all the exchanges to go grab the liquidity, because on Binance the liquidity was grabbed, and perhaps they will force price down again once more just to align the exchanges in terms of liquidity here at the bottom. So definitely a possibility, and that's why I'm saying is this price action is very confusing, because the exchanges do not align on what is happening in this area. Very confusing, because if I'm now using an exchange like Coinbase, if I use BTC Coinbase, I think it's Coinbase, you will see that we have not tapped this low over here, okay, and we also have not tapped the 0.618 yet. So a bit of a confusing situation over here. And that is why I'm saying that I think there is still, for now, a possibility for us to come and claim this low. If all exchanges were aligned and everyone claimed the low and we were at the 618 and all exchanges, I would have said the probabilities are now very low for us to come and claim this low again. And I'm looking for a higher low for continuation to the upside. Okay, but a little bit confusing over here. Right. Let's go through some more comments. I'm going to start from the bottom up now, and then I'll just make sure that I haven't missed anything. Mian, Ahmed, Devil, some people are saying that all-time high is already done, and maybe market makers don't let the alt season trigger this time. You just never know what this market is going to give you, and all we can do is apply good risk management. You know, I say this so many times, and some people don't even hear me when I say it anymore because that's how often I say it. It is not how good I'm analyzing the market that keeps me in the game. It is risk management that keeps me in the game, because when I'm wrong, I lose a little bit, but when I'm right, I make a lot. And as long as my losses are small and my wins are bigger, it means that I will still be here in 10 years, in 20 years. But it's people risking their entire accounts on every single trade at 10x, 20x leverage. They're not here for long. Okay. Even if they have brilliant analysis, they're not here for long. It's risk management that keeps me in the game, not how good my analysis is. Because we are wrong often. Even, even myself. Believe it or not, yes, I am wrong a lot of times. Sometimes I get stopped out once, twice, and even 3 times in a day I get stopped out, and then I go sit on my hands and go for a run, go to the gym and just catch my breath, and then I try again. But I can guarantee you, when I've been stopped out 3 times, I have lost very, very, very little capital. So I'm not sitting in a corner crying because I lost 3 trades. I'm just frustrated because I've lost 3 trades. Why am I not getting into the zone? Perhaps I'm not in the right mind space. Perhaps I need to go to gym, get some oxygen in the brain, or perhaps I'm not understanding the structure. Okay, and often I will just go and take a breather, take a break, take a Kit Kat, have a chocolate, go to the gym, drink a coffee, stay away from the charts, try again tomorrow. Okay, cool. Let's go. Thanks, dear old. Pleasure. Technical analysis. Pleasure. Mansoor. Mian. Dear old. Some people are... Okay, I've already spoken about this. Andre, what is your opinion on DXY? DXY. Let's quickly look at the DXY. Myself and Andy spoke about the DXY last week, Thursday, during our live stream as well. So there is still a couple of scenarios that can play out here. And even from an Elliott wave perspective, the one thing you guys have to remember, even from an Elliott wave perspective, you typically have a bullish and a bearish scenario. Elliott waves, I had a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago where they thought that Elliott waves only has one scenario. No. You usually have like 2 or 3 scenarios or even 4 scenarios, and depending on how price develops, you will then find a scenario that has higher or lower probabilities. Okay. So, without bringing Elliott wave theory into this, the one thing that we have to acknowledge is that when we had this dump here to the downside, okay, we made the low. Then we made a higher high compared to this high. Okay, so some could argue that we are now starting to break market structure and the low is in for now. You make a higher high and then you make a higher low compared to this low. Now it looks like you've broken market structure, and this could now potentially be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where you are now going to make a higher high and then potentially come down, make a higher low, and then the structure rampages here to the upside. So there's definitely a possibility for the DXY to find some massive momentum here to the upside. But the one thing I also want to highlight is that the breakout here to the upside can also be corrective, where this high is the high. We're not going to come back to this high again, because what concerns me about this low over here is that it tapped the 0.88. That concerns me a little bit. It's not guaranteed, but I see there's still a little bit of hope. If we want Bitcoin and the altcoins to still have that rally here to the upside, I do still see some hope. So I've explained to you guys the market structure break that could potentially come and claim this high again and bleed out Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins. But what I do like about this structure, when I take a fib from the low to the high, okay, you guys will see, let's go a little bit higher, a little bit lower over there. Okay, we tapped the 0.88. We came down very low over here. You guys see 0.88, and it looks like we just front run it, but to me it's deep enough to count as a touch, and this is why it's a little bit bullish and a little bit bearish. Okay, what I like about the 0.88 is that Elliott wave theory states, and Fibonacci traders know these rules, is to say that when you have a wave to the upside and the retracement is all the way back down at the 0.88 level, and this is why I have this level in my fib. I think you have to manually add this level. It doesn't come out on the default settings. When you have this movement and you go as deep as the 0.88, it increases probabilities, okay, not guaranteed, but it just increases the probability that any move away from it is corrective and not impulsive. If that is the case, then this becomes an A, B, C, okay? If this is an A, B, C, I still see some hope on the cards for us. And what do I mean by that? Okay, let me take the brushes out. Let's go measure out the C wave. If this is an A, B, C, I can go measure where a C wave can go. Right, so I take my fib expansion from the low to the high to the low. Okay, so still a little bit bearish, but not as bearish as some of the other scenarios where people are saying that we are just going to move up from here, come and claim this high, and just not going to stop the momentum to the upside. So C wave targets is exactly here by the 0.618. Luckily, or unluckily, or luckily, depending on whether you want to trade the C wave, is that the 0.618 is a C wave target, a little bit more rare. The 1-to-1 is a very common C wave target. So is the 1.236, the 1.382, and an expanding C wave is all the way here by the 1.618. So what I'm trying to get to over here is that if this is an A, B, and a corrective C to the upside, you could still make a lower high from a larger time frame perspective and break the structure to the downside, taking these lows, giving you that massive bull run for Bitcoin and the altcoins here to the upside if this drop happens. Okay, and this little structure is giving me the clue over years to say that, well, this could be A, B, C because of how deep this retracement went. So I'm still seeing a little bit of hope over here. The bullish scenario is, take the scribble out, this is a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. So basically from an Elliott wave perspective, let's go take the waves. This is 1, 2, we're going to make a 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you have, so let me just switch the line on. People like to see that line for some reason. Okay. That is your Elliott wave structure. The problem with impulses to the upside is that you will then have a B, C, and you will have a bigger 1, 2, and you will continue to the upside to go and build a massive bullish impulsive third wave to the upside. The problem is impulses, people. I cannot stress it enough. When you have impulses to the upside, momentum will likely continue for a while before you slow down, because you can go and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay, and then you go again. Oops, let me grab my pen over here. Then you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay. Let me zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you guys see the problem with impulses? Impulses takes price into aggressively either to the upside or to the downside. So if we are going to start impulses, oops, let me take this out, to the upside, the DXY could still get very, very bullish. Okay, and we might not see that all-time high that everyone's talking about, $108,000, $110,000. You might see some pumpy action with these little retracements here to the downside. Okay. And this counts for impulses. So when we have a bear market, the impulses are to the downside. When we are in a bull market, the impulses are to the upside. So any corrective structure to the downside in a bull market is still bullish, unless the structure changes where you start making impulses to the downside. So I ideally do not want to see an impulse here to the upside. I want to see a corrective structure to the upside, where this is an A, B, C. So that is the hope that I'm still seeing over here. And when I put a fib here from the high to the low, okay, so still, you know, perhaps we reject here by the 618,786 level. Ideally, I don't want to see us tap the 0.88, because if we tap the 0.88, what does that mean? Any move away is corrective. Okay, which then means that this could be a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is what I think of the DXY. I hope that answered your question. This is what I think about the DXY from a bullish and a bearish perspective, is that everyone is looking at this little candle up here as we are going, Bitcoin's going to fall, the altcoins are bleeding. Oh my God, this looks so bullish. Market structure. Okay, higher low, higher high. We're going to go make another higher high and then another low, a higher low, and we're just going to continue. So what I'm just trying to show you guys here, there's still some hope for us to turn around. When I take a fib expansion, okay, and this is what I'm hoping for. When I take a fib, I'm hoping for us to turn around. Here by the 1-2 run ratio, 1236 and 1382. Actually, I do not want to see us tap the C wave target, because if we tap the C wave target, then we tap the 0.88, which means that we could have corrections and more impulses to the upside. So I want to see us reject in this area. Okay, and that would still be very, very bullish for Bitcoin, and the bull season continues. But I mean, obviously with this momentum here to the upside, we're still going to see some blood in the street. Okay. Doom, doom, doom. What else? On the 5, right. Hi devil, some people are saying that all time, okay, I've already read that. How 0.8 is added on fib. Okay, so just for education purposes, when you open up your fib, right, you have settings, and you can go change your levels inside here. You can type different numbers. You can go crazy over here. Right. Mine is a little bit all over the show. I need to clean it up a little bit. But take a screenshot of my settings over here, and you can go type in the numbers exactly like I have it, and your fib will look like mine. Okay. You will see some of the changes I have is I've got the 0.236 that I've added. I've got the 0.88 that I've added. I also have a 0.66 level over here. I have the 618 and I have the 66 as well. I like that level because usually when you are trading, you know, I like this zone over here. 66 and 618, and often you get that dip into the 618 and people think no, it's bearish because you've pierced it, and then you get that nice bounce at that 0.66 level. It's just worked nicely for me in the past. Okay, cool. Hope that helps. DXY is doing a bump and run reversal. It's very bullish for DXY. You can search it up. Yes, I know what a bump and run is. So definitely, I will be honest with you guys. Bump and run, okay, how I like my bump and runs, and to increase the probability of a bump and run playing out, I'm going to share with you guys a little trick over here. Do you guys remember Bitcoin when we were, go back onto the 1 hour, and where was that bump and run? It was over here. Okay, here was a beautiful, beautiful example of a bump and run. Okay. You guys see this price action over here? There's a trend. Okay. That to me is a beautiful bump and run. Why is this such a beautiful bump and run to me? Because this is what I'm looking for. I like a bump and run that has a touch, a wave, a second touch, and then it has the bump to the downside and it breaks out on the third touch. This to me is the perfect bump and run scenario where you have the small little wave, that small wave, 1, 2 touches on top before you have the bump, then you have the bump, and on the third touch, you break out. Okay, so also when you go and Google bump and run, this is what the structure looks like. A lot of people confuse a normal trend line breakout with a bump and run scenario. Okay, what I'm seeing on DXY is I'm not seeing a proper bump and run. Yes, it can happen that we're going to come and claim the high. And then people are going to say, but it's a bump and run. I'm just saying that if you go and look at bump and runs and you Google it, typically how you want a perfect bump and run to look like is something like this. Then you have the dump, and then you have the breakout. Okay, but now we have a tap over here. We have a bump. We already have a tap, and now it doesn't look like a bump and run to me. I'll be honest with you guys. Yes, it can break the trend and go and claim all-time highs, but I don't call this a bump and run. I just call it a break of trend strategy, because a bump and run is where you tap, you have the little second tap, you then have the bump, and you break out on the third tap to come and claim the high. Okay, so I'm still saying that there's hope for the DXY to reverse, because the bump and run scenario over here is not clean enough for me. Okay, look at this beautiful bump and run. Tap, 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 breakout. You come and claim the highs. Beautiful bump and run. Okay. What else? Okay, right. What I wanted, nice little dump here to the downside. Let's go look at CVD. I'm very interested to see what is CVD doing here at the moment. I do see some bullish CVD building, but we can still claim this low over here because it's already at the 0.88. Okay, just want to see. Let's go on to the 15-minute over here. This usually, not always, but usually when you have a, sorry, this is the wrong fib. Just purely from an education perspective, when you have a fib like this, okay, and I can zoom into it just to make it easier. Usually, there's a high probability in any wave when you create a wave that taps the 0.88, there's a high probability that you're going to come claim the low. Okay. Also what I'm seeing in on the DXY. And usually how it plays out is it taps the 0.88, it retraces up until the 618 area, and then it claims the low. Okay. Not always, but it happens quite frequently. I have seen this play out. Right. So yeah, let's just see how this plays out. Because we just have to acknowledge we haven't claimed this low yet. So, and we still have acceptance above the naked point of control. So this could still be bullish. If the 618 claim the low does not play out, we can still move up from here. Okay, nothing is ever guaranteed in the market. It's just a game of probabilities. Game of probability state, you tap the 0.88, you're most probably going to retrace up until the 618 because there's a higher probability for it, and you're going to come claim the low, and perhaps SFP get acceptance back above, and then you're long again. Okay. Right, so let's see how this plays out. Okay, almost tapped the 618 over here. Go, go, go. And perhaps that's where we will get the rejection. Let's see. If we don't get the rejection here and we start tapping the 50% fib level, there's a higher probability that we're going to continue momentum to the upside. All just a game of probabilities. Okay, that's now more or less where you want to see the rejection for us to come and take this low. But it looks bullish also looking at CVD. Look at CVD, bullish CVD, come and claim the high. Okay, well, while this plays out, let's go through some more comments. Okay, DXY is doing a bump. Okay, I've gone through that. Okay, I've gone through that. Can you please comment on dominance? Yes, let's go look at dominance. I said I will go and comment on dominance. This kind of looks bullish now. If we start tapping the 0.5 and get acceptance, just want to finish wrapping it up here quickly on Bitcoin and we can come back to it again. If we get acceptance back above this value area high, it's going to look good. It's going to look good for continuation to the upside. Come and claim this high and for continuation to the upside. For us to come and claim this level, I want to see us reject underneath this level. Okay. Right, we do have some bullish CVD that is counting in the favor of of at least coming to claim this high over here. Let's look at dominance. Okay, so what I want to show you guys is when I zoom out. Okay, let's go on to the 3-day. Just wait for it to load up. Okay, you can actually remove volume. You don't need volume on dominance. Just clean it up a little bit over here. Okay, so this is just me. I'm kind of looking at this triangle, this closing diagonal, whatever you want to call it, ending diagonal, leading diagonal. But basically, for those of you that know patterns very well, any pattern that goes upwards, okay, has a high probability of breaking down. Whether it's a channel, whether it's a triangle to the upside, whether it's an expanding trumpet, any pattern, I'm just, this is the basics of trading one-on-one. Any pattern that moves to the upside usually has a higher probability of breaking down. Right, so I am kind of looking at this Bitcoin dominance inside of this upwards momentum channel that could be bearish at some point. We just have to lose structure, and we are still inside. We are still inside of the structure. So the one thing I do know is that when I zoom out a little bit, okay, if we do find strength, because the patterns don't always play out. You guys have to remember, patterns are there to be broken. Resistances and supports are there to be broken. If we do find, and what I see here at the moment is it looks like we're flipping these highs into support at the moment. And we have broken out. This is potentially a retest, and we are going to break out of this channel to the upside. Okay, the biggest area of resistance that I do see is round about the 60% mark over here. So maybe this is a breakout or a fake out to the upside. We get rejected and then we break down. Okay. So from a bullish perspective, I am seeing the 60% mark over here. Or from a bearish perspective, well, bullish on Bitcoin, depending on whether it's going up or down, because dominance can still increase even if Bitcoin is dumping. Right, we want to see dominance fall for the altcoins. When can we buy altcoins? Okay. The other thing, from a bullish perspective for some of the altcoins, this could have been a fake out here to the upside, struggling to break the channel, and we are going to break it here to the downside, ignoring the support and resistance to say that fake out, not getting acceptance outside of the channel, and we're going to break down from here. Okay, and I mean, this breakdown can be very bullish for the altcoins. 3382, 50%, 618 level. It can be very aggressive here to the downside. So always I have to look at both scenarios. But for now, it kind of still does look bullish, okay, because of the support over here. You guys can see how we struggle to break through here. Struggling. And then eventually we took all of these highs and we have a closing candle above the highs. So this is potentially a retest for continuation to the upside. So it does look bullish at the moment, Bitcoin dominance. But I always just have to paint the bearish case scenario as well, because a lot of people can, say, well, we did a RS flip, we flipped resistance into support, we're going up. And then what if this happens? Oh, crap. I have to look at both scenarios. Perhaps this is a failure to break through, acceptance back below the level, and we're going to lose the support again and flip it back into resistance. Right, just have to look at these scenarios. Let's go jump through a couple of altcoins. I've promised you guys a little bit of altcoins over here and sharing with you my list. And for those of you that's been watching my streams for a long time, you will know that I have a list that I'm currently still building up some spot bags because of where price action is at the moment. Still expecting some momentum, explosive momentum to the upside. Okay. I'm here on Ethereum, and what I wanted to share with you guys is... Okay, I'm not going to analyze Ethereum now too deeply, but I mean, I spoke about the scenario on Friday where I said if we fail to hold the support and we break down and we flip this into resistance, which it's now resistance, I do expect us to bounce on top of the channel, and I want us to keep this momentum to remain bullish on the price of Ethereum. So ETH can still come back down, claim this low over here, bounce on the trend, and then break through. to go to higher levels. Definitely still a bullish case scenario over here, where it literally is as simple as a breakout and a retest. Okay, so when I go on to the daily, just to show everyone here, sorry, I've got some phlegm in my throat. We've been inside of this channel for so long with Ethereum. Finally, we broke out. Look at the nice, beautiful breakout here to the upside. And perhaps this is a simple, you retest for continuation back to the upside. It could be as simple as that, okay? Or if we get acceptance back inside of this channel and we lose this trend that I have over here, then we could come back to the 50% mark inside of this channel for then a bounce, or to the bottom of this channel, right? Which is still bullish. The trend is still up. Even if we come tap the bottom of this channel, around about $2,000, the trend is still up, which means it's still bullish, okay? Only when we lose this low over here with high volume, look at the difference. Look at this high, look at this high. Lower high, massive higher high, okay? If we come back down here and we do this, an obvious lower low, then I'm going to tell you guys, oh crap, we're going down, baby, because the chances then increase that you're going to make a lower high and continue the momentum to the downside. Okay, that's my simple analysis here on the price of Ethereum. Also, what I wanted to share with you guys is that I have a big bag of altcoins, okay? And the ones that I have highlighted here in red are the ones, and in green over here, that's just a higher risk portfolio, so I allocate less capital to the ones here in green. The ones that I have highlighted here in red is fundamental altcoins that I am still building spot positions for. I still have other altcoins in my spot bags that are not here, but I believe they have already done phenomenal things, and I'm not going to recommend something to my community that has run 200, 300%, and they get a massive correction to the downside, and you get wrecked. Okay. For example, I have Theta, I have Near Protocol, I have Solana, I have GRT, I have Render, I have a very big bag of Render, I have a very big bag of Rune. Okay. The reason I have excluded them from the red list for now, and perhaps I will go through every single one tomorrow during my research phase, and I will go and see where I find more opportunities here for potential bounce to the upside. But for now, these are the ones that I'm focusing on now to still build spot bags, considering what Shiba Inu has done, what Rune has done, what Solana has done, even what Ethereum has done. Okay, look at where Ethereum is compared to the previous high from the previous bull cycle. Then you go on to Atom, for example. Then I go onto the same time frame and I go and compare, and I was like, holy crap, okay, this one still needs a lot to go. Okay, let me just take all of this out the way. Right, I'm looking for the ones that are still inside of this is what I refer to as accumulation zone. This is where people are scared to buy, and this is where I buy. I like to buy in areas where people are scared to buy, because people think it's going to do this, okay? I look at the price and I see this as a massive consolidation area, and any dip down here is where I want to add to my spot positions, expecting to see what's happening with Ethereum and Solana and Render that's already claimed all-time highs, Injective Protocol already claimed all-time highs. Okay, so this red list, and please go take a screenshot of this, go do your own research, and these are coins which I'm happy with the fundamentals, and I'm slowly building up spot positions for these ones. I'm already in all of them. I'm just adding and adding and adding. And when I say spot position, okay, even if we fall down and we claim these lows, I will still be there adding. That's just me. That's what I do. Okay, I will still be adding. Right, unless there's fundamentally something very wrong with the coin, where the CEO gets fired, they stole money, or the system's crashed, and there's no, you know, what happened to Luna and FTX and, you know, all the rest of it. Okay, that's when I will then cut my losses and rather go and buy something else. But there's too many, guys. There are too many altcoins. You can't buy all of them. You have to pick. Right, I don't want to buy 1,000 altcoins. I want to have a specific list and say, okay, well, this is it. And I constantly go, force myself to go through an exercise where I'm like, even this red list, there's too many. I need to go and filter some of them out. Okay, I need to go and filter some of them out over here. Right. And I'm always constantly adding new ones, like doing research and adding new ones. And anyways. Right, but you guys get the picture. These are the ones that I have. So looking at Atom, what I do like about keeping the analysis extremely simple here, guys. What I like about Atom, okay, is that it is still inside of accumulation zone. Right, there's the low, little bit of higher lows, but I call this the accumulation zone. And I will be adding to my spot bags as long as we are inside of this area. Okay, the same with EGLD. I'm very bullish on EGLD. Very, very bullish on EGLD. When I look at, I know this looks messy. I've been doing a lot of analysis here, trying to figure out where to buy. Okay, let's just do this. Keep it simple. EGLD. Oof. I believe in the project. Long accumulation zone over here. Okay, still in buy zone for me. Even with us losing this trend, a lot of people will get bearish with us losing this trend. Let me just show you guys. Okay, we have momentum here to the upside. Now we've lost trend. When I take the trends out, where's the other one? Let's just hide that one. Okay, when I take the trends out of the equation and I just look at this structure, then I take a fib from the low to the high, and I like where we are bouncing. I really like where we are bouncing because to me, this is still bullish. To me, this is still bullish, where we are inside the golden area over here, okay, where we could still turn around and go and claim all of these highs and make a 1, 2, 3 year to the upside. I am still bullish and I'm still adding to my spot bags over here. Okay. Who is next? I'll jump through a couple more. Dot. I'm still very bullish on Dot, guys. I'm really bullish. Look, I've got my fib inside of the golden zone. This is where I added to my spot bags. This is what I am doing, guys. And when I'm saying I'm adding to my spot bags, I do most of my trading on Bybit for my larger spot positions, because there's also a 20% fee reduction, and it really helps, especially if you're keeping your positions open for longer. And then obviously for my day trading in and out of the market, I use Mexi, where you don't have to KYC. You only get these deals by using the links down in the description. Go sign up and use these links. Right. So I added a little bit of Dot over the on Sunday. I added a little bit of Dot. AVAX. Okay, AVAX has been doing very well. Okay, AVAX. I'm still very bullish on AVAX. Yeah, I just want to clean up these charts now. This is old analysis, but I mean, keeping it simple, we have this momentum here to the upside. I know it looks bearish. We lost trend. A lot of people are now, oh, we're going down. We're going down. We lost trend. I still like, just want to adjust this a little bit. Okay, there's still a momentum line that we can break over here. So when I go onto the 8 hour, first thing I just want to, keep your momentum lines in, guys. If we break this trend line successfully, regardless of, if you are very scared to buy here, you're like, no, we're going back down lower. Wait for the trend. Wait for the break of the trend. The trend can still go down. Price can still go down. But this could also be a bump and run scenario, and you come and claim the highs over here. So keep an eye on your trend lines. Trend lines, a lot of people don't use them because they think it's too simple. I know that some of the most successful, profitable traders still use trend lines, and some of them only use trend lines. They don't even look at Fibonacci and all those fancy tools that we use. Okay, but still, when I look at this entire structure over here, this is what I like. From the low to the high, ooh, we just tapped to 0.618. We can still come down to the 786 level over here, which is confluence with this consolidation, but we can literally just turn around and break out from here. So a lot of people see this as bearish. We lost the trend, okay? When I look at the Fibonacci, we've been supported. We can still be supported. We can even come down lower here, where for me, it's still a great load up zone. So ideally, what I would like to see, just to show you guys how I would typically analyze the price here to the downside, is that I would go and see, well, is this an A, B, C here to the downside? Where can it still take us? So take my trend-based fib. A, B, C. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. 1.618. I made a update last week about the thumbnail said important 1.618. It had this in the title, and I went through a couple of scenarios on Bitcoin explaining to everyone how powerful this level is. I see it everywhere, this level. You get them in C waves, you get them in 3 waves and third waves, you get them almost every single place you can find. Okay, so what I do like about this momentum to the downside, it tells me that if this is an A, B, C here to the downside, the correction could be finished. High probability that it's finished, but it can still go down lower because perhaps I counted the structure wrong. And usually only when the structure is finished will you then say, oh crap, okay, that's what I did wrong. This actually looks like an A, B, C. Okay, right, so please... But I do like that we tapped the 0.618, we tapped the 618. I mean, how much more confidence do you have before you are not scared anymore to buy? Or add a little bit to your spot bags. You don't have to go put all your money in. You just nibble a little bit. If it goes down lower, you go nibble a little bit more. Right. From a trading setup perspective is you just wait for the trend. Okay. So perhaps this is going to make a higher low over here and it's going to start breaking the trend and it will even get acceptance back above here. And then here you will see all the retail people jump in. Okay, now it looks good. Now we got acceptance back above the trend. And then they start longing from here. But your entry is over here. Okay, and you can practice good risk management. And as soon as you move into profits, you move your stop loss to break even. Because if price does this, then at least you get stopped out, you don't lose any money, and you can still enter. Okay. Spend a lot of time here on the price of, which one is this? AVAX. Right, and I also see this on Atom. I just wanted to show you guys quickly something here on Atom. Okay. Let me just take the scribble out. 8 hour. You can see how I'm tracking the momentums. I'm tracking this one. I'm tracking this one. Now, to me, this looks like a better bump and run, I suppose. Not perfect yet, but, you know, the market doesn't always give you what you want. Perhaps a bump and run. I don't know. We can still go back down lower. But what I want to show you guys on Atom is that there is a chance that it can still go down more. Okay? Because what I counted this morning is that this can be an A, B, okay, but then the C wave, oh, it's here at the 3618. This is very extended for a C wave. So what I'm thinking is, okay, we did hit the 618 target, which is fine. I like the 618 targets, but this can also be a bigger ABC where this is an A, B, oops, I forgot to use the wrong tool. A, B, C, okay. Where we are now inside of C-wave territory. Remember when I discussed the DXY? 1-to-1 ratio, C-wave target, C-wave target, C-wave target, and extended C-wave target. So even here on the price of Atom, I'm like, okay, we are inside C-wave target territory where we can turn around. But we can still do this and then only turn around, tapping the 1.618 and then off through the races we go, get acceptance back inside of the trend, confusing everyone, and then off, you know, the bullish momentum starts to the upside again. But that is why, because the C wave has so many targets, that's why I nibble. This is why I add a little bit. I add a little bit. I add a little bit. And if we come down here, I'll add a little bit. Okay, spot bags, not swing positions here at the moment for me at the moment. I already got stopped out of all of my swing positions. Okay. Doop, doop. What else? Let's go through some comments over here. TA on Link. Yes, I almost forgot about Link. Right, let's go look at Link here at the moment. Did we get that drop here to the downside? I don't know. I remember someone saying, I'm not going to mention any names. I remember someone saying that if we had to come back down here, they are going to start buying like a crazy person. And we are down here. That wasn't me. But I remember someone saying, and for those of you that's been following that person, you will know who said that. Okay. But anyways, let's look at link over here. This can potentially be the end of the structure where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're looking for a larger A, B, C here to the downside. Okay, so you guys can see I have a lot of support and resistances. Obviously, this box is now resistance. Make it red. This box is also resistance. Make it red. Okay, and we've climbed, you can see how beautifully we've climbed the stairs with Link. It's such a slow crawler, but when it moves, it really moves, and it consolidates forever, this coin. Okay, but still really, really good fundamentals. Okay, we had a move up here and we consolidated for almost forever. And then we had another move up here and we consolidated almost forever. And the one scenario that I was looking at is to say that, well, you know, before we had the drop, is to say that, well, maybe we're going to have another move up here and then consolidate forever and then continue climbing the stairs. But now we've lost the stairs. We flipped this support back into resistance, and now look at where we are finding support. Right, also in confluence with the 0.618 area. Okay, I like this. I really like this. Okay, so I want to take some of the noise out of the chart, just clean this up a little bit, and just look at this Elliott wave structure over here. So a lot of people will see this as bearish, but then when you start taking trends and things out the way to clean up the noise, purely from a Fibonacci perspective, what do you guys know about fibs? Okay, you have a move up, you have a move down, and then when you take a fib from the low to the high, you know, 618 area is usually when you have a nice little bounce back to the upside. Okay, regardless of what the trends and things looks like inside, I'm still seeing this as a potential bouncing area, but we can go down lower. So I like that we've tapped the 0.618, okay, with high volume, because high volume usually indicates the beginning or end of something, and it can be the beginning and end of something, or the end of something and something new. Okay, now I want to measure ABC. A, B, C. Okay, so we are inside of C-wave targets over here. Beautiful little buy up here at the moment. At the 0.618, we are inside of C-wave targets. We can still go and tap the 1.618. So nothing is ever for certain, but for me, this is a great buying zone, especially from a spot bag perspective. Okay. And then obviously what's going to happen is usually when you have a trend like this, okay, that's your trend that we've lost over there, right? Let's do it like this. Maybe that's your trend that you've lost. If I can guarantee you guys what will happen over here, and this is usually when people see it's very bearish, but I can guarantee you guys, if we had to get a nice bounce in this area, all that people are going to do is they're going to put their trend over there and say, okay, that's now the new home line. Okay, right. But for me, this is a nice load up zone for Link. I will personally be adding a little bit of Link because I do not have Link in my spot bags. Okay, so I want, Link is one of those coins I want to add to my spot bag. So for me, and no financial advice, guys, do your own research. For me, this is a good load up zone. And I'm not saying I'm going to come and buy everything, all of my money where we are right now. No, I nibble a little bit. As it falls, I nibble. And often what happens is price turns around before I've nibbled enough, and then I'm like, ah, damn it, my position is not big enough. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because when price goes down lower, okay, you're like, ooh, nice. Now I can bring my entry down. Okay, cool. I hope that solves it for Link. I think from a simplicity perspective, if you'd like to trade it or you're too scared to buy where we are right now, you don't know if we're going to go back down lower, I would simply just keep an eye on a momentum line. And I'm just trying to figure out, it looks like that is the one. Okay, just keep an eye on there, set your alarm. Create your alarm over there, and then you play the breakout. Good risk management, play the breakout, wait for high volume to break out, and just play a breakout strategy on that. Okay, that is basically Link over here. Let's go through some more comments. Are you still buying Vanry? Yes, I am still buying Vanry. And let me go have a look at Vanry here at the moment. Oof, wow. Obviously, I wanted us to stay. Yeah, I wanted us not to lose the support, and I wanted us to break the trend. Stay here and break out. We didn't get it. But now, you know, a lot of people will say, well, this is really, really sad. Okay. I see you guys are sending a lot of smiley faces and 100%, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can you check algo? Yes, I'll go through algo now. Okay. But never fear when there's a price drop near, okay? Because if I had an entry over here, you guys have to remember, when I nibble a little bit over here, it brings my entry down. And when it falls down more, it brings my entry down and my entry down. So when I then get the breakout, the final breakout here to the upside, I have a bigger entry and a bigger position size to make more gains to the upside. So I am not scared to buy dips. Okay, I do have Vanry in my bags, and I will definitely be adding a little bit more over here. Okay. Also from a fib perspective, what I want to see over here, 2 fibs I can take into account, but it looks like this is the low. I would say this is the low over there. So currently inside of the golden zone, momentum is moving up on the 12-hour. I don't use RSIs to trade, but I do use them for my spot bags, especially on the higher time frames. I do like that the daily is curling up. The 12-hour is at the bottom, curling up. The 8 hours at not really anywhere at the moment, but it looks like it wants to cool down depending on what price action plays out here. But yeah, I don't really go down lower into time frames when I'm adding to my spot bags. But to me, this is still a beautiful load up zone for me over here. Okay. Right. And I just have to point out to you guys, even if we come down here, I will still be there because there's always a great possibility for a double bottom. Okay, and those ones are usually very bullish to the upside. Double bottom, scaring the crap out of everyone. We're going down lower, and then it double bottoms, and we have momentum back to the upside. I've seen double bottoms play out many, 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 many times. I can't remember of the exact coin. Was it Sushi that had this massive dump here to the downside? I want to see Sushi here quickly. Look at this. Look at this, guys, on Sushi, where I played the double bottom on Sushi. So when you look at this entire structure, clean this up. Okay. Whew. Okay. Sushi obviously had a massive dump to the downside because the SEC is currently investigating them. But I identified this double bottom over here. Look at this beautiful double bottom on Sushi. Double bottom, making people extremely bearish. When we started falling down here, people were like, oh God, we're going to just lose this level. And then we made a double bottom, and then look what happened. Double bottoms can be very powerful. So even if Vanry, for example, comes down here, Atom, any of the coins that I have on this list, even if they all double bottom, those are the best entries. Just brings your entry price down lower. Okay. And it is quite sad for me to say that when people see this, they're too scared to buy. When people see this, they buy, and then they lose. And then they will most probably buy here again. Okay? And then they lose. So people buy at the wrong time and they sell at the wrong time. When you are scared to buy, maybe, you need to reprogram your brain. This is what I needed to do when I started trading, is that when you reprogram your brain and you're like, oh, I feel like I need to sell. I'm too big in a loss. You should force yourself to buy. And when you're like showing off to your friends your P&L that you've made, maybe you should start taking profits. Okay. Right. Let's look at Bitcoin here. Okay. Let's go back onto Bitcoin. I just want to see what's happening over here. Want to see us get acceptance back above this level. I want to see us get acceptance back above the value area high for momentum to continue to the upside, even coming to claim this pivot and potentially this high over here. Okay. Just zooming out. Right. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Please smash up the like, show some love. And now, guys, I think the one thing I would like to see here for bullish momentum to continue, and for those of you that's only joined the stream right now, I did raise the concern about the structure over here, just saying that the structure looks different depending on which exchange you use to analyze your chart on. Some exchanges had, like Binance, had a massive dump here to the downside, where some only had a wick up until this area. Some of them tapped the 0.618, some of them did not tap the 0.618. So this structure, even from an Elliott wave perspective, is difficult for me to count because all the exchanges are so misaligned. Okay, so the possibility of us, based on the misalignment of all the exchanges, is still there to come and claim this low. Based on what I'm seeing on my chart, the Binance chart, perpetual contract, the probabilities are lower to come and claim the low. Okay, but I mean, perhaps the market makers will purposefully go and force all the exchanges to go in a line, close some of the gaps, make sure that liquidity is grabbed below this low. You never know what the markets have planned over here. But also keeping it simple, keep your momentum line here. Just want to see. Quite a steep momentum line, okay? Keep your momentum line in. This one, I just want to see something here. It's too steep. It's too steep. I don't like it. Okay, now I will just stick with this one over here. I like this momentum line. Okay. Also, let me go switch on some today levels. Daily levels. Oh, how beautiful. Do you guys see what happened over here? I forgot about the daily level. Right. It's written over each other over here, but you guys can see that I have a naked point of control, okay? And I have a daily level over here, fresh daily level that formed last night, okay? If you go into your daily chart, your daily time frame, okay, you will see fresh daily level, open and close at the same level, which is referred to as a daily level, and we have just tapped it and currently not breaking down. So even if I take this out the way, let me take this out the way, okay? Purely from a daily perspective, this is a typical swing failure pattern, okay? You form a fresh daily level, you come back down, you fail to break down or get a candle close below the level, and then you find continuation to the upside. And then we'll have to see what happens at this daily level. Do we SFP or do we close above for continuation to the upside? For now, we are struggling with this daily level. So it's offering great support at the moment. So there is still a definite high possibility, purely just looking at the daily level, okay, that we have made a successful SFP on the daily level. So this is considered a successful SFP. You dip below the level, you get acceptance back above. You test it again, that's a double bottom. Right, so on the lower time frames, nice little double bottom on here. Let me go into the 10-minute, zoom into this price action, take that brush out. Okay, nice little double bottom over here. You test the level, you fail to break down, you retest it for a second time, and then you find acceptance back above. But always you get triple bottoms as well. Sometimes it does that. Okay, but I like double bottoms. They happen so often. Double bottom and you find continuation to the upside. You break this trend and come and claim the high over here. Okay, or you reject. You reject at the trend and you can either test it again. Closing candles below is usually bearish, but you just want to tap it and move away. But this looks good. Okay, I don't want to run ahead of myself, but this looks really good in terms of what I'm seeing over here. Okay, SFP. This is a successful SFP. If you did, for the legends out there in our Discord group, also link down in the description if you'd like to join. They most probably took this trade over here. Daily level, you SFP, you failed to break through. You test it again and off to the races you go. Beautiful SFP. And people often ask me, Yessie, how do you get your entries like exactly at the highs and at the lows? How do you do that? Okay, SFPs. This is how I do it. SFPs. You have a daily level, you have a naked point of control, you fail to break through, you enter sniper entry over there, you protect your position as soon as you move into the green, free trade to the upside, and then people look at your trade and they're like, how on earth did you catch that level? Because I had a daily over there. We failed to break down and I longed to the upside. It's as simple as that. Right, legends. Adam, thank you so much. Sorry, guys, I unfortunately do not have more time to go through anything else. I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Please smash up the like, hit subscribe for future notifications. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a fantastic Monday, and I will see you guys tomorrow again. Cheers for now. Da, 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 da.